Hello and welcome to another episode of On Fire here on Daily Mirror. I'm Easwaran Rutnam. My guest today is the former chairperson of the COPE committee, Professor Charitha Herath. Professor, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sharam, having me.
So you were, of course, the central figure in the media these days after the whole controversy where you were not included in the new committee. Why? What happened? I mean, why were you not included?
Well, that was the questions that I have been also thinking and asking from many, people who are concerned. Like I still cannot understand why they have not included me into the group, the team. I think some of them.
And these were your own party members who decided not to have you in the committee.
Well, yes, actually they are. I was and I am the part of that party and process, and some people of it maybe thought that I am not suitable for the way that they think, and they want somebody whom they think could be managed according to their wish. Maybe that was a reason, but I don't know the reason, and I have also asked the same questions even from President and the Prime Minister. Even they also did not answer it in my Twitter, but I don't know. Anyhow, the final product was like, they dropped me from the committee, the list of the members whom that they have proposed for this time Committee on Public Enterprise. Now finally, fortunately, opposition leader suggested me for a slots that they had. Actually, they got a slots open after Dr. Harshada Silva resigned from the committee or suggested list due to the reason that he had another commitment at Public Finance Committee as the chairman. So he thought to resign from this, and then the opposition leader suggested my name to that slot. But it should go through the real process. I think it will be finalized in next parliamentary sitting.
But Sajith Premadasa's nomination or proposal that you be included in the committee does raise a bit of a question as well, right? I mean, people are wondering whether there is a hidden agreement between you and the new alliance and the SJB.
Well, I mean, anybody can think anything, but here the issue is that we have crossed over to oppositions, not to the SJB, but to the opposition bench in the parliament. So now Mr. Premadasa is the opposition leader. So now my name was not included into the list, and he and many people know that the engagement that I have put on in this committee was rather acceptable and up to the level of the acceptance. So then opposition leader thought that my name should be included. There aren't any hidden agreements, anything, like everything is shown to everybody, like they are very democratic, very important decision that he has taken. I thanks him for that thing, because it was not any hidden relationship. It is very open relationship that we are part of the opposition right now, though we are representing the SLPP, and I think the parliament, mainly the opposition members, thinks that I should be my name should be put into the list. Yeah.
So you're going to continue to be a member of the SLPP despite forming a new alliance as well?
Well, that is a very tricky question you ask. Like at the moment, I can answer in this way. At the moment, we are members of SLPP and parliamentarians representing that political platform.
Right.
But in future, what you ask is like what we are going to do. That is a completely different thing, and you have to look at how the politics move forward, and what are the issues and challenges, and how we could engage in future challenges. So, accordingly the platforms will be decided.
So there is an opportunity for you to align yourself with some of the others in the opposition,
Yeah,
because you're not surely you're not going to go back to.
I don't think that I am not containing the kind of political positions that some of my friends are containing at the moment or keeping at the moment. And I am thinking that we need to question our leaderships, we need to question our policies, we need to engage policy forming very actively, not to just to listen and give the votes at the end. We need to engage from the start to form the policies for the government. Actually, that was the pledge that we have given to the people when we were asking people to vote to Gotabaya Rajapaksa as the president. We even have given them assurance that as academics or as professionals, we are there with the president to form some of these policies. Unfortunately, that though the people reacted it in very positively, we were not able to keep that promise going due to many reasons. So, I think my future political engagement is same, that we need to be very open and we need to be very active in policy forming activities, and therefore, my political thinking is much broader than some of my friends.
When you were the chairperson of the COPE committee, the committee unearthed a lot of misdeeds or misappropriation of funds by state institutions, including Sri Lankan Airlines, CEB and CPC. When that process was going forward, were you under any sort of pressure from the top?
Well, I need to be very honest here. Like, I was not getting any such pressures from anybody, but some people were not happy with the examinations that I have conducted and I have done.
So these people are from the political leadership or outside?
No, well, I don't want to mention the names here, but some people are not happy with what I have done. But regardless of that matter, I have continued, and that is why one time I was dropped and about to completely dropped, and then again put back into the committee, like one time it was dissolved or it was prologued, and then after that it was reappointed. And I was, at that time there was a question.
When prorogued, was there an indication when it was prorogued the earlier time that you were not going to be?
I think that was one reason for prolongation. Like I thought, and many people thought like that, but finally they changed maybe their mind, and I was reappointed. And yeah, there were some different feelings and some dislike type activity, thinkings will happen from the top and from some of the people, but I don't want to name any persons here.
Did COPE have enough teeth? Some felt that COPE was weak, that it could just make recommendations and that is it.
That is true, actually. It doesn't have enough power to completely execute some of the decisions that were taken by the committee. That is true, and we have been trying our best to enhance the standing orders related with this committee. In our standing order, 120 of the number of the standing order is related with the Committee on Public Enterprise, and we have suggested to a standing orders subcommittee to go through some of our suggestions and to change the existing standing orders, but that was not happen the way that we have expected. We have requested them to look at whether we will be given power to send the final outcome or the final files to Attorney General directly. That was one
to take legal action.
one request we have sent, but it was not taken the way that we expected. Then we also suggested, if we will not be able to send that files to AG departments, then let us have some powers to get a member from AG department to the committee. That was also not accepted. And then the third proposal was that whether we could whether we could send the file or the special proposal to the parliament and get parliament's mandate to send the file to attorney generals. All these proposals were not taken in the way that we have expected, but there were some minor changes in our standing orders in last month. But as you said, the power, in terms of power, there is an issue. I think we need to enhance parliamentary oversight committees further. In order to do that, you need to change the related standing orders.
Do you think the public are losing faith in these committees, especially when you have, presidents coming in, proroguing parliament, dissolving the committees, reappointing the committees? You have a process that's going on, it stops and then starts again.
Yeah, completely true, Easwaran. Now people will, judge what we do. I think we need to get the trust back into the place. Like if people don't trust the democratic system, then they will leave the system. If they leave the system, then the anarchism and lot of different things happen. That has happened actually last time. So there is a huge responsibility on our hands, like to make sure that the people trust the process of parliamentary democracy. These oversight committees are one very important section of our parliamentary culture, our parliamentary democratic process. So I think that is true. We need to win the hearts of the people and to get their trust back into the system. That is one important issue that we just need to address.
Where were things at the time Parliament was prorogued and the committee that was under you was dissolved? Where were things standing as far as the inquiries were concerned with Sri Lanka?
Actually, Easwaran, there was a very important inquiry that we have lined up. That was on financial decision making, decision making on financial matters in 2018 to 2022. So that was a report which was submitted by the Auditor Generals to the Parliament, and it is kind of big report, and we have, our committee has gone through that report, and we have planned standing committee type examination on this matter, and we have fixed 5 days continuously handle this issue. Then it was scheduled to have on 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd and 23rd of July. Then we have lined up the people to be summoned, the former central bank governors, including Professor W.D. Lakshman, Ajit Cabral, and and there was another gentleman, Dr. Kumaraswamy, and included into this list former President Secretary Dr. Jayasundar and former Finance Secretary Mr. Article and all. So that inquiry was about to start before the president's resignations things happened. So now after that, you know, the whole country went to a very different shape up to next 3-4 weeks. So we were not able to get this thing back. But after new president came to power, he prorogued the parliament. So then this inquiry was held up. So I have even today tabled the decisions of our committee on this matter, and I have requested openly from the new committee, including new chairman, to carry on and restart this examination process. I hope that it will be happen, and I am requesting them to do so. And as you know, now I also will be the committee back as a member, then I will also going to push it to get it through. Now this financial performance issue is a very important issue in terms of Geneva resolutions and international supports in financial institutions and all. So now Geneva Human Rights Councils put it in a very strong terms like financial crimes.
Yeah.
So to accountability of this issue is one of the major requirements according to their resolutions. So I think it is better to look at this issue from our parliament point of view. Then COPE could go ahead and look at how the decisions were made and why some decisions were made, and what were the reasons behind those decisions, kind questions. I think we need to look at those issues and to submit a report to the country that this has happened. In my view, this economic crisis is not a natural thing, it is a man-made crisis. It was created by some of the decisions or some of the decision making.
And these individuals who were given authority to make these decisions were people that you and others in the party who now came out also supported and helped bring into power.
Well, I am talking about some officers.
Okay.
Not the political, not the leaderships. That the leaders are also related with these decisions. Then the officers should tell.
Yeah.
That I was directed by this or that leader to do so.
Yeah.
And these are the minutes that I was sent. These are the letters that I was sent. Things like that. You know, you have to deal with the officers. Then the officers could unveil whatever the stories behind.
It's very rare to see an officer coming and accusing the leadership, the political leadership,
of
turning decisions.
No, now this issue is a heavy issue, like you can't hide, then they would be in trouble. So I think the internationally, nationally, everybody now are thinking that, you know, some decisions were brought us to this level. So we need to look at that, who took those decisions and why those decisions were taken. So the officers in office at that time were also responsible. So then they have to come out and to tell that these were the decisions that we made and these were the reasons for us to take these decisions. Like, you know, these things should be unveiled, like then everybody would know that what has happened. I think it should be done from the parliamentary structure before it should go into a, you know, broader kind of places. Like now UNHCR has itself mentioned this issue, and sometime you know, IMF, World Bank, all other donor agencies and other international financial institutions would also raise the same issue and would ask that we need to have a kind of report or the audited report on this issue. Then if you have that examination done through COPE, then at least you have some base documents. I think that should be ready.
I want to ask you a personal question. I mean, do you have any regrets supporting Gotabaya Rajapaksa for the presidency?
Well, I don't know the term is regret, but I feel so sad about the way that he has handled some issues, and I think we have the people like me. I mean, we have gone to the town and argued and convinced the people that this is the correct movement and correct leader and correct policies. Actually, we got power in very huge scale, but we were not able to fulfill the pledges that we have given to the people. People has done their duties and we were not able to deliver. So, that was the issue. That was a kind of frustrations and kind of you know, sad feelings of this thing, and we need to rectify it.
Did you feel that there was a outside hand controlling the president at the time? Because this is the feeling that Professor G.L. Pires felt.
Well, I don't know actually what are the reasons, but his decision making was so weak and so poor. And
but was he taking the calling the shots, or was it someone like Basil Rajapaksa who was actually calling the shots?
No, but he was in the government. Mr. Basil Rajapaksa was also in the government. No, like he was not outside. He was
but he was not the president.
He was not the president, but you know, he was also part of the executive power because he was the financial minister. He is the most, you know, one of the very powerful position in the government. So he was also there. It was, I am not going to put any others to blame, but you know, I think the president himself should be responsible, because people voted to the president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, not to others. Then he should be more careful about this issue, and he should think that, you know, people have selected me. So then he has a responsibility to deliver according to the manifesto that we have given to the people, and the people has accepted. But it was not happen, and he took kind of, you know, loosey decisions, and some decisions were completely mad type, and those were not rectified. Even after people have you know, shown some of the mistakes of those decisions, that was another part of the problem. So then he messed it up.
What is your focus now going to be as a member of parliament?
Well, I am trying my best to engage in this parliamentary decision making processes and policy making processes. At the same time, I am trying to look at the areas where we lost the focus, and I am also trying to engage with the people who have developed a new political dialogue after Aragalaya thing happened, and I am just thinking that we could move on with the corrections of the mistakes that were happened, and I think in future we will try to develop a broader political front in order to address some of the very important issues of this country.
Right, Professor, thank you for joining us on this program.
Thank you, Easwaran.
And that's all the time we have for you for On Fire for this week. Till next time, stay safe.